Okay, so we are still live from the farm here at TD Holub's Garden Oasis out here at Coggan, Iowa, in the eastern part of the state. And we have a little bonus footage here because TD has a walk-in cooler of his own creation that is probably one of the biggest and most interesting walk-in cooler spaces I've ever run across. So he's going to tell us about what it involves, how he uses it, and how he made it.
So I'm almost a little embarrassed because this is like the first thing I ever built, so it's kind of ugly, but it's very effective is what it needs to do. So
the first thing I notice when I walk in here, besides the divine smell of the fresh produce in here, is the automatic light switch. You walk in and it automatically turns on.
So one of my best friends growing up and still is an electrician. So you got to have friends to do all this kind of stuff. One of my other really good friends helped me build it. It's kind of hard to stand up walls without somebody to help or put the ceiling up. But no, this is our walk-in cooler. So it's very simple construction. You just build a room. I was kind of lucky because I was working in an existing space. I was working inside a shed. If you were to do this outside, you'd have to construct it a little bit differently, of course. But being that I'm inside a shed and was working on a concrete surface, what I did was just framed up this particular cooler is a 12 by 24, so it's pretty big. And basically just framed up a 12 by 24 room with a ceiling. The floor is actually just the pink 2-inch insulation with a 3/4 inch plywood set right on top of that, and then we kind of screwed that into the cement. And then, yeah, the room that you can see, so we use something a little different. This is called tech foil. And I know about it because growing up, working on some hog farms, my uncle having hogs, this stuff is used in hog buildings or anywhere to keep heat in. You can see it basically just looks like it's like bubble wrap with aluminum foil on either side. And what it does is it acts as a vapor barrier. It also acts as insulation when there's an air gap behind it. So basically what we did when we took our room and we have our 2x4 stud, we have on this side the tech foil that you can see, an air gap, and then on the outside of the 2x4 we have 4 inches of polyiso insulation, which is the yellow insulation with the foil backing. And basically what that can do is give you essentially at least an R30, but there's actually no real information as to how much insulation this is giving you, just because there's so many variances in what your air gap was and all these different things. But what we've found is it's very effective in a cooler type setting, just because of the vapor barrier, and it really just kind of traps the air in here. So we're running 2 air conditioners. I think these are each like 24,000 BTU. They're like the biggest ones you get. And then we use this thing called a CoolBot, which all it does is it ties into your air conditioner's thermostat and basically overrides it. So a window air conditioner can usually do like 60 or 65 degrees. This thing you can actually set to whatever you want to be. So right now we have it set to 37. It's 39, 40. There's 4 of us in here. We have the door open, so it warms up a little bit, but it cools down very quickly. And then this CoolBot essentially just tricks this to run until it's at its temperature, and then it cycles the air conditioner off. Air conditioner runs 24/7. You can set them on the economy setting, but CoolBot's instructions tell you not to do that. They say run it all the time, which is what we do so that we have air and stuff coming in here constantly.
So I see you have 2 220s for the air conditioners and then a 110 for each of the CoolBots.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the CoolBots are, unfortunately, so this cooler, I think, when I built it was roughly like 5,000 to 5,500 in materials and stuff like that. And of that, at least like 12 to 1,500 was the air conditioners and CoolBots. The CoolBots at the time were like $300 a piece, so that's 600 just in 2 little controller units. And then the air conditioners themselves are kind of pricey. But if you compare this, you know, there's 4 of us standing here, we got plenty of room. There's plenty of produce in here still. And you know, with 2 window air conditioners and you know that amount invested, it's a pretty good deal.
And a 12 by 24 space is like 3 times the size.
I've packed for farmers markets in here. I brought tables in. It was about 95 degrees outside. I said, screw it, we'll pack in here. So
Yeah.
I just stood in here and packed stuff with a winter coat on in the middle of July. So it's definitely well worth it. Not to mention good beer storage. So.
Always an added bonus.
Yeah, you always
Very
have
good.
friends or somebody that wants to get something in here if they ever need it. So
Yeah.
it's nice. I've had, you know, family graduation parties, our wedding a few years back. Perfect spot to store all that kind of stuff.
You bet. You bet. Well, all the benefits of any walk-in cooler, except like twice or 3 times the size and a fraction of the price tag.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
fantastic. Well, I thought this was a really great innovation that I was really excited to share with
Saved
everybody.
us a lot of time and money, that's for sure. And it's really easy to move stuff around here. We keep our stuff that needs to be clean over here. Clean stuff's usually on the shelves and ready to go. And yeah,
Strong
ready to
systems
go.
are the cornerstone of any produce farm. All right.
Very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks a lot.